The Syrian crisis, one of the most devastating conflicts of the 21st century. What began as peaceful protests in 2011 quickly spiraled into a brutal civil war, drawing in regional and global powers. But amidst the chaos, destruction, and human suffering, a critical question emerges: who benefits from Syria's crisis? Today, we'll dissect the geopolitical and economic winners of this war, uncovering the hidden players who have turned Syria's tragedy into their strategic advantage. Who benefits from the Syrian crisis? A breakdown of global and regional winners. Welcome back to the channel, where we analyze global conflicts and their far-reaching consequences. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns like this one. Now, let's dive in. How the crisis started. To understand who benefits from Syria's crisis, we need to revisit how it all began. In early 2011, Syria became part of the Arab Spring, a wave of pro-democracy uprisings across the Middle East. But unlike Tunisia or Egypt, Syria's uprising didn't lead to quick political change. Instead, President Bashar al-Assad responded with brutal crackdowns, triggering an armed rebellion. Soon, the conflict escalated into a multi-sided civil war, involving regional powers, foreign militias, and global superpowers. But this wasn't just a Syrian war. It became a geopolitical battleground, with every major player seeking to gain something: strategic influence, economic benefits, or political leverage. So, who are these players, and what have they gained? Let's start with the regional powers, regional winners. First up, Iran. For Tehran, Syria wasn't just an ally. It was a crucial link in the so-called Shiite crescent, stretching from Iran through Iraq and Syria to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran poured billions into propping up Assad's regime, deploying militias, military advisors, and logistical support. The result? Iran solidified its land corridor to the Mediterranean, strengthened Hezbollah, and gained direct access to Syria's infrastructure and markets. For Iran, Assad's survival was not just about Syria, it was about regional dominance. Next, Turkey. President Erdogan played a double game. At first, Ankara supported Syrian opposition groups to overthrow Assad. But as the war dragged on, Turkey's main priority became stopping Kurdish autonomy near its border. Turkey established military buffer zones in northern Syria, launched operations like Euphrates Shield and Olive Branch, and prevented the Syrian Kurds from establishing an independent state. Meanwhile, Turkey leveraged the refugee crisis as a bargaining chip in negotiations with the EU. For Saudi Arabia and its Gulf allies, Syria was a proxy battleground against Iran. Riyadh funded and armed rebel groups, hoping to topple Assad and weaken Iran's regional grip. Although their efforts didn't lead to Assad's fall, the prolonged war drained Iran's resources and destabilized its regional ambitions, a partial win for Saudi Arabia. Global winners. Globally, Russia emerges as one of the biggest winners. In 2015, Russia intervened militarily, turning the tide of war in Assad's favor. But Moscow's goals went beyond saving Assad. It was about securing military bases, projecting power in the Mediterranean, and positioning itself as a decisive power broker in the Middle East. The United States initially backed opposition groups but later focused on defeating ISIS. The US established alliances with Kurdish militias, securing oil fields in northeastern Syria and maintaining influence despite Assad's survival. Economic winners. While geopolitical players benefited strategically, economic winners emerged as well. Syria's vast natural resources, reconstruction contracts, and war economy created profit opportunities for both state and private actors. The losers. The Syrian people. Amidst the power plays and strategic gains, one undeniable truth remains: the Syrian people are the ultimate losers of this crisis. Over 500,000 lives lost, millions displaced, and an entire nation torn apart by war. So, who really benefits from the Syrian crisis? Regional powers secured influence, global superpowers expanded their strategic reach, and economic players profited from chaos. But the cost has been immeasurable for the Syrian people. What are your thoughts on the Syrian crisis and its aftermath? Share your views in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, stay informed.